Hey, my people, this is Major TV. Let's talk. Again, I'm driving. Sorry about you hearing the engine or what have you, or external noise in the audio, but that's just off my mind. And like I said on one of my recent audios I dropped, with the fact that a lot of times stuff comes to me when I'm driving and whatnot. And what I want to touch upon right quick is why I don't use the N-word. And I've been criticized by some of my peers for checking them for calling me the N-word. I grew up using the word first and foremost. It was common among our lingo growing up. And for me, I never knew the historical significance because in my home we wasn't as vocal about black history, about the negative use of the N-word against blacks, etc., etc., etc. And it was just something that was not a big issue in reference to not saying it that I can remember. And I look around and it's so popular. And we know there's some whites that use this word, they want to act black, and then you have whites that's racist that use it in such a way that clearly they're coming from a racist standpoint. But for me, I look at the significance of the word. And I know now we took the ER off, put the A on the back of the word, but it's still what it is. ER is what these white folks push down our ear, beat us in submission, and killing us. That we will all be reminded that we are the N-word. And all that we did as blacks is regurgitating and re-echoing over and over again with the A on it, right? To make it cool to stop being the N-word. And I remember when Jay-Z went on Oprah Winfrey show, how Winfrey was challenging him about using the word in his music and whatnot, and period. And he went so far as legitimizing, talking about the N versus ER on the back of the N-word. But the point of the matter was, he did what we've been doing for years, is legitimize and be complicit by the word that was used to keep us down. And I know it's an old saying like stick and stone should hurt our bones, but words should never hurt us, right? But it's the mindset that I'm talking about. There's a book by Naeem Akbar called Change Images of Psychological Slavery. I believe it's Change Images of Psychological Slavery. It's a small book, right? He's a Muslim and a black psychologist. And he talks about how a lot of our habits that we have today. And this book was wrote years ago, right? Not really years ago, but one of the first books I read when I was very young. Way back when. He spoke about a lot of our habits, right? With slave mentality, a slave mentality that came from the plantation, right? The N-world, especially, but how we hate each other, how we're crabs in the buckets, how we pull each other down, and how we quit to snitch each other out, along with a host of other things. And when I listen to people justifying the N-word, I always think about Naeem Akbar's book. Because the N-word is one thing among a lot of things in our community that we deal with, right? That we justify despite Mr. Farrakhan exposing the willingness central to the world, right? At the Million Man March and whatnot. It's true today, even though a lot of us been repeating that willingness syndrome, it's still going within us. The mindset is still there. In-house fighting. And you know what's so crazy, right? I catch pro-black people in the N-word profusively, you know. And we would justify, so you acting like an N-word. You acting like this, you acting like, and then we'll be so comfortable in saying it. I think it's so many words you can address black people, right? It's acting ignorant. It's acting self-destructive or showing self-hate. It's where we can express that. But for us to regurgitate and speak about a demeaning and historical demeaning words that affect our foremothers and forefathers, I don't think it's fair first to you to be doing that at all. With any black person, because I don't care what nobody said, we all have been brainwashed. We all have been taken advantage of. We all have been lied to. You know, we all are victims, and I'm talking about black people, you know, as descendants of slaves, have been ripped of our culture, our religion, our language, stolen from the shores of Africa. We have encountered a loss so grave that not only is we a lost people, right, and a misinformed people, but we are people that even know our righteous place in this world. And I'm saying to say this here. I know now a lot of things have been exposed, screaming throughout the years. And a lot of things we know now we didn't know back then. But I feel that with all this information, it's still loose because we don't know who we really are, and we don't even know how to get centered because there's so much stuff we still fight with. We gotta realize this was not an overnight process with programs like they did. It was years and years, over 400 years. It's been, once they had planned out, people just hand it down. Carter G. Wilson spoke about this in his book, Miseducation of the Negro, where he spoke about everything we learned from white America was a lie. And this man risked it all. Because during the time that he wrote this book, early 1900s, it was bad for black people. And he gave his career, you can say, of his lifelong work to want to inform black people about what's going on. But I really feel like with all the knowledge we have and we know about ourselves as black people, how great we are and what we've been through and so forth, so on, as well as what we have to do, you know, with our lives, right, to get right, even in the eyes of the Most High, we still find reason to be complicit in bias using the N-word, and also a host of other derogatory words and things we do to address each other, even our black women. And I think that there should come a time where we realize that continuing to act in a way where it's cool to be using the N-word on each other is a shame. It's sad. It's unjustifiable. We need to realize we love each other. Or I say I love myself, you say you love yourself. We need to stop it all together. Because white people is quick to say, well, if y'all use the word, we can use the word. And we'll get so mad and justify how they can't use the word. And they're the one who created the word, right? Oh, I ain't gonna say create, they really didn't create the word, but they created exploiting the word, right? And you can say they created the word. You can say they created the word, right? And it's a thing whereas we have accepted there are no fighting fuss. And we get mad when white people throw in our face about y'all say we can't use it, we use it the derogatory way. Well, look at y'all use it, so y'all use it, we can use it. And we get so upset with it. Well, they turn around and justify us using against each other. You're so mad you want to hurt this white person, right? But here, this white person is exposing truths to you and to us that we don't want to really look at and think about. If we know this word being used in a bad way towards to keep us down, remind us that we're nothing. Why would we want to even use this word anyway? So for me, it comes down to self-respect and love for yourself and for black people. And don't get me wrong, I have friends still call me N-word. Every once in a while I caution them, but I understand that some black people gonna be black people, right? And I'm not gonna stop loving you or caring about you. But we have to realize, and not just the N-word. The N-word was just one example. The way how we address black women in a derogatory way, call them out their name and whatnot. The way how we undermine and talk to each other. All that have to change as well. So for me, wanting to do this audio of content regarding N-word, I just want to put that in context because we're dealing with self-respect and self-love for ourselves and others. And we're in such a climate where now you're hearing systemic racism echoing from everybody's mouths, even white people's mouths. Things are changing to the point where the conversation coming in full circle, right? Whereas people are now willing to at least submit systemic racism. And now you're sitting down there on all news channels, white and black. You know, you're seeing this in places you never thought it would be seen. You're hearing more blacks speak about it than ever. There used to be a handful of people that would speak like this. But I truly frown the pro-black community and use this word that is conscious or claim to be conscious. I do frown at anybody in the black community that know better. I frown at you because you should be doing what we're doing. We are propagating and we are sharing bad examples for young people others to follow. I understand about the hip hop and the rap world, how they do their thing, but they stand to be corrected too. And I just feel like it's no excuse using this word. I take that back. Exceptional problem, for example. And that's a stretch doing that and using it for example. Forget a point across, but just to be using the word, and when I say for example, I'm purely talking about where something being explained, this word have to come out. And that's a stretch because for me, I try to avoid using the word. It's so much, or so many words I can use. We can use. So we definitely need to be conscious of this. We definitely need to call this out. Especially on people that know better. People that speak about black consciousness, black awareness, becoming culturally, spiritually inclined. When we're talking about change, change include not using the N-word. Change include communicating with each other responsibly and respectfully. Change include understanding that things I said can leave a bad example for the people that listen to me. Them days of wanting to be cool and getting on people's levels, I don't even believe in that to the extent whereas you have to compromise so much. There's nothing wrong with bringing your lingo down where you're using words that they may not understand. You're trying to reach people at the bottom that need help out, people particularly. But just to be using N-word, I don't agree. And I believe that if you want to do better, if you want to lead an example, if you want black people to be better, you will not use that word anymore. I'm challenging everybody that listens to my videos. I'm challenging everybody who don't listen to my videos. If you're black, you care about yourself, you care about your children, you care about your family, you care about your community, you care about white society using that word against you to keep using it, or showing that that's why we will never change it. That's why we are with this saying, you're my N-word, you won't use it. Point blank. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the love and support. Continue to comment, continue to share, like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Until then, take care, be blessed.